What's your advice to a upcoming photographer on how to like 3 do's, 3 don'ts for building rapport with a subject?
3 do's, 3 don'ts.
Or 1, as many as you want, since you're the guest.
So
you know?
many. You gave him so many things to say.
Let's see. First one is always put your subject first. And that could be as simple as like, even if it's your photograph and you have the right to post it, if they're like, don't post that, do not fucking post it. Ever. Ever.
That's pretty sound advice, yeah.
Yeah, no, but like, believe it or not, people are
Still,
they're
sure.
like, hey, it's my picture. I can do whatever. It's like, dude, are you out of your mind? I mean, and maybe in the same one, like, ask, hey, can I share this to the world where it lives forever?
Yeah.
You know, like, is that cool with you?
But is that ever not to cut you off?
Seems
but
so obvious.
Is that? But I also.
But it seems obvious to us because we're in that world. But it's like, dude, there's a lot of people that don't think twice about that. I'm like, bro,
I just strangely, and I hate to say this just to play devil's advocate, but I also can understand slightly the other side of it because I know how much effort you put into these fucking photos. Like you drove to Palm Springs, you brought a 5-person crew, you brought lights, you brought electricity, you paid for the rent on the Airbnb. You took 3,652 pictures to come home, edit for 6 hours for the one photo that's going to go out to the world, and the subject says, "Yo, management says you can't use it."
yeah, and you know that's something I run into a lot where I'm gonna be biased in the sense that I might be more taste driven, where somebody might be more driven with how they look, and I don't think I've ever had a shoot where someone's like, none of this. But I've definitely had something where I'm like, holy fuck, this is the photo, and they're like, I don't really like that one, and I'm like, and that's kind of where I'm like, I would surrender. Like I would definitely, if I could tell they're adamant on like, I really don't like the way I feel in this.
Any back and forth at all? Will you
Well,
push?
see, yeah, I'll come back and I'll be like, hey, like, I get it. I just telling you, like, I have so much confidence in this. I think you look amazing. Like, maybe let me know what you don't like about it, but I really think that this is a standout image. And I think at that point, it's like, if you articulate that and you're like, I get it, but like, I really feel strongly that this suits both of us well. You know, a lot of times I'll be like, okay, like, I trust you. And if someone doesn't, then you just have to surrender. It's like, and it's not even what you share, too. Say you're shooting someone on the beach and it's cold outside and you want them to go in the water and the water's freezing, and you could just, they have that body language of, oh, I know you want this photo, like, please don't make me do this. Like, oh, like, I mean, the cold scares people, you know?
Yeah, sure.
They're just kind of swallowing it and being like, yeah, that's fine. Like, just try to make sure everybody always leaves in, like, really high spirits. And yeah, you know, maybe the photos will be great and they'll be like, okay, it was worth it. But I think, like, coming in and coming out of it and having someone feel better than they did when they got there and being like this polarizing human being that they want to be around, like, that's just going to carry you so far. That's like the biggest do. You know what I think the one that bugs me more is like someone posting a photo that they like, it'd be like Logan back in the days of like the club being open, like Logan hanging out there and somebody like some kid with, you know, maybe like a little film camera, like snapping a picture of him and then posting it'd be like new work with @LoganPaul, like shot by me.
Yeah,
Which it's always my homie, just so you know.
my boy.
Me with my homie.
Do you now? Let me ask you.
Which I just so I don't get in. I definitely at some point in my younger day I'm sure I've done that before because I got
that's what
excited.
I was gonna ask you.
But I'm telling you, don't do it.
it.
Don't, because if I could go back and not have done it, I wouldn't have. It didn't necessarily. It's one of those things where you don't really know how it bites you in the ass until you grow up a little bit and you're like, yeah, that person probably saw. You know, it's kind of just like, oh, they won't even see that I posted it. Like, no one will. They probably did, and they're probably like, fuck that kid. Like,
Right.
I'm not his homie.
Right. Nor did I want my photo taken. Nor did I want this post. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's gonna take a while to outlive that you did the whole like, hey, let me just take your image and then, you know.
So that's one of your don'ts. Don't be that guy.
Don't. Just wait till you authentic. Like, I think there should be rules. It's like someone's full attention. You know, maybe you guys talk, and it's something where it's like, you know each other's name. There was a communication, and even if it was a quick instance, it's like there was a moment. You know, like there was engagement. But if that's not the case, then just sit back on it, because your time will come. Like, don't rush things. You can only meet somebody. You only meet somebody for the first time one time.
Nice.
And it's true. And I'm looking over here because it's really important. Like, you know, it's good to seize the moment, but don't get ahead of yourself. Really, it's tough to give advice on this because it's kind of just one of those things I can't really articulate like the formula for it, but just try to find it in yourself to know, like, is this is this the best time?
Oh,
You know,
that's so
like, is this the right time, or is another time gonna come?
But
you
it's
know?
also an important balance too, because there are a lot of people who will sit and wait forever. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think you're 1,000%.